Hello, welcome back. WinDailySports.com, all sponsored by the Sharp app. Go to the sharp.link link, and you can check out all the ways to download the Sharp app on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Also, WDS.1/liveweek is the link, and you can check that out in the description below, but that'll get you the 1 week free trial. So you can sign up, get a 1 week free trial, WDS.1/liveweek. Included in there is also the optimizer, which we use here for NFL Sundays. And we're going to be taking a look at the Sunday DFS slate and a little bit of quarterbacks and stacks with my guy Joel. Follow him at DraftMaster Flex, as you can see on the screen. Joel, where are we going with some quarterbacks and stacks here? I'll let you pick out a stack that you like first.
Listen, I think we got a fun week. I think there's some games that we can look at where there's some strong potential. I think the one that's staring us all in the face, the first one to start with, is obvious. It's Josh Allen. The Jaguars can't stop a nosebleed this year, so and they don't have a running back, so they don't have really a running game to look for. So he's got to throw, and he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns. So I normally hate playing the most expensive quarterback because I think there's a lot of value in finding the underpriced guy that does well. But I think Allen could really break the slate this week.
Yeah, Allen can, and he's put up some pretty big numbers in the last few games against bad opponents, but it's showing you that no matter kind of what the game script, how bad the opponent, that he's always going to be the guy that's scoring touchdowns, and it is all going to basically go through the passing game. I'm bringing this one up not as a game stack of quarterbacks. I'm just genuinely interested with you how you were handling Jordan Love going to start here for the Packers. That was a spot that likely on Sunday we were going to attack big time because the Chiefs secondary stinks. But Jordan Love, how good is he? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to maybe play Jordan Love. I wouldn't be too scared still off of at least off of Devontae Adams. I think this now means maybe go a little bit more towards the run game as well with Aaron Jones, and he'll be involved in the passing game. But how are you handling this? Because beforehand, if this wasn't Aaron Rodgers being out, this was probably a game stack that we were going to use.
It's hard to imagine the Chiefs really shutting anyone down, right?
Right,
so
exactly.
They're going to score. So it comes down to how. I think my preference is the running game and Aaron Jones, but there's the other scenario of the Chiefs defense being like, let's just take Aaron Jones away, and then giving Love some really easy passes, one-on-one coverage, no help. And if that happens,
I could easily see a screen pass being taken to the house for a touchdown, and Jordan Love gets credit for that. I could see the Packers, obviously, as you said, easy throws, but those easy throws, especially in this offense, could result in points.
I would say my lineups will be heavily loaded one way or the other. Right? If I'm not playing Aaron Jones, then I will give him a look in those lineups. And the lineups I'm playing Jones, I'm not. And maybe I'll play a couple of them together, but the thought is they're going to score points. So if it's going to be on the ground, great. If it's not, then. And the last thing is a sneaky play this week is go for Dylan, right? Maybe they just give him 20 carries too. They run the ball 50 times, and he's a little bit more underpriced.
Yeah, as we see, they can adjust game plans, and I think they do adjust maybe to a little bit more of a run game here against the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, you can do anything against the Chiefs, completely anything against the Chiefs. So yeah, I think Dylan could get involved. And here's a question, not a question, but Miles saying here, hope Tyrod goes. And that's where I want to go next, because Miami, look, Kansas City's bad. Miami is brutally bad. So if Tyrod does play, now the only thing about Tyrod is he may be a little bit rusty, he's coming back from an injury, but when he was playing, he was looking very, very good. Is there a potential that Tyrod Taylor, because he's probably going to be, or he is a low salary quarterback, that we may be taking Tyrod and maybe some Cooks in some of our lineups?
So listen, it's a beatable matchup. It's a game that's interesting because there can be some scoring. There's just such a big question mark around Tyrod. Even if he plays, how healthy is he? If he's going to be able to complete the game? I doubt he's going to want to run much, right? So I probably wouldn't put too much banking on his legs. Let's just take a quick look. What is his actual dollar amount? Because that would also.
I think it's around 5K. I think it is 5K.
Yeah, that's the bottom. That's dirt cheap. So, yeah, he's playable at that price. That is pretty cheap. The only other concern with him is that they don't have, other than Cooks, they don't have too much to like in terms of pass catchers. So even when he does have a good game, it's who is he going to that's going to, make some big plays for him? Okay, yes, the negative is that. The positive is they also don't have a running game, so he has to throw because they haven't given somebody 10 carries in a game yet this year.
Yeah, so just want to take a look here. I'll even bring up some of the quarterback salaries. First of all, not going Simeon at all. That's not going to happen. But yeah, look, Tyrod Taylor, 5K. Obviously, he's way down there. But I mean, when it comes to some of these cheaper plays, is he the only one that's worth kind of putting in stacking? Because some of these guys, I just don't like the matchups in general. And others like Trevor Simeon, I just don't trust. Like Baker Mayfield, I don't think is in a good matchup. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't think is in a good matchup. Mac Jones, not even. It's really tough that if you want to go a little bit cheaper here, especially like in these 5K range or even low 6, Kirk Cousins could be an option. It just doesn't seem like my favorite kind of group to go after.
I think Cousins is okay. The two I think I'd be most interested in down here would be Tua, who, if he's healthy, again, this Houston team can't really stop him. It's 5,800. So I think, Tua, if that game goes back and forth, like you like Tyrod, I could see Tua reaching by it.
And there's a very clear stack there, too, to go with. Like Waddle and Gesicki, basically. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad, especially against
I wouldn't mind Parker either. You can play Parker on that team.
Like
and then, you know what? This is a gross one. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but he does pop every couple of games. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, this Arizona game, this is a rivalry game. I don't think it's going to be like a defensive battle because I think Arizona's going to score. And so I think that's going to mean San Fran's going to have to keep up. And I think they will because it's a rivalry game and these games are always close. So I think Jimmy Garoppolo could be sneaky.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, certainly. He had 30 points last game. Like he can do it. It's just that how good that offense is basically. So yeah, that offense could put up points. Obviously, a lot of points go to the quarterback because a lot of things run through him. So I think with some of the game stacks very clear again, I think we mentioned a couple of them already that look pretty good, but I want to look at another one here with the Eagles defense, because that's one that we have been attacking. They looked better against the Lions. That doesn't really mean much, but is it at a point now with the Chargers and how they looked and the Chargers being even on the road in Philly that this isn't as much of a slam dunk matchup as it was maybe a couple of weeks ago?
Well, my concern there is more, I want to attack the Eagles on the ground. The Eagles secondary.
I love Austin Eckler. Yeah, I love Austin Eckler in this game.
So I don't know if I'd want to stack here. I think I'd rather go Eckler. I do think that they have good corners in Philly. So I actually think this could end up being like a lower scoring game. Not a game I love to target. I think the play would be, in terms of stacking, my favorite play, and someone I think is just getting disrespected price-wise, Lamar Jackson. They don't have another running back. He's the running back, and he plays two positions, and you get him for the regular. Like, he should be up there in the 8K range, in my opinion. So for someone who's going to get as much rushing upside as he has, as well as he can throw for 303 too, I just think people are undervaluing. I think 3 weeks from now, he'll be stuck at 8,200 and up every week out. And I think right now we're getting a great value.
Yeah, I think so. I do like Lamar Jackson there a lot. That is a very, very good call by you. So again, I mentioned the Saints, Trevor Simeon. We're not doing that, right? Like there's no way we're kind of going there. And the Ravens, you mentioned I know you mentioned Kirk Cousins a little bit. Anyway, we're going the other side there with Minnesota. I know you mentioned Lamar, but anyway, with Minnesota on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer Lamar, and because I like Lamar, I will be playing, some of the run backs on the other side, like especially Jefferson. I like a lot, maybe Thielen. I prefer Lamar because of the rushing upside, but if you're trying to get a cheaper squeeze in with Cousins, I mean, I don't mind Cousins at 6,200. I think that is a good enough number. Anymore, I would be like, okay, no, but at 6,200, that's just at the brink of being cheap enough.
So one, I'm not going to try and convince myself. I've seen this defense before get torched by good passing offenses, and the past couple of games they haven't. And the last game was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not a good passing offense, but Cleveland has been able to get beat by the air. Justin Herbert had 4 touchdowns against them. Kyler Murray had 4 touchdowns. Cincinnati's back home for the first time in 3 games. They played 3 straight road games coming off that loss against the Jets. But even in those 3 straight road games, have put up over 30 points in those games. Is this a spot where maybe we could overlook Cincinnati a little bit because it's an NFC North matchup and we think of Cleveland's defense being very good? But I just saw some of those passing numbers against good passing offenses and think, why not a good bounce back spot for Cincinnati here? And not even, it's weird to call it a bounce back spot. It is for them to win, but they've putting up over 30 points. So their offenses remain consistent.
Here's the catch-22 with Cleveland's defense. They have a good run D, which is almost like what you want to target for a quarterback. Right? They can stop the run. You're going to have to throw it. That's
right.
perfect. But they're overall a good defensive. The way you beat them is through the air, but they're not one of those like Tampa, who's like great run D and terrible pass D.
Right. Attack the crap out of them. Yeah.
So, this one's a little bit more in between. This could be a game that ends up being, like a 2014 game, maybe on the lower scoring side. But, at 6,800, he's probably priced appropriately. Yeah. It's a matter of if you think this will be an over game, if you think points will be scored, then I think he's a good play. If you think it's going to turn into a defensive battle, then I would just fade.
All right, so last one that I do want to go over with you, and that is looking, let me go down and see it. I know we talked about the Packers and Jordan Love. Just is it at the point, and I want to ask this just because, like, a complete avoid. Are we just staying away from Kansas City until things are fixed, or is this the game we see them, at home? They probably a little bit of smell the blood in the water with Aaron Rodgers not being there, that they could really attack this Packers defense, but the Packers defense is good. What are we doing here with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think I take a strong stance. I think Aaron Rodgers being out is bad for Kansas City's fantasy purposes, right? Because with Rodgers playing, I could have seen this game turn into a shootout where they went back and forth. Without Rodgers, the Packers are going to try to establish the run and slow the game down and kind of try and take Mahomes out of the game. And from what we've seen this year, most teams have had success doing that. So my stance on Mahomes right now is I'm going to wait until there's either like a prime time high scoring offense he's against or his price drops. Right now, what we've seen, it's not worth paying up to play it.
Yeah, I agree. Just so far hasn't been worth playing it. So just wanted to bring that up because I know still the Chiefs can be this high powered offense. It just isn't happening. So wanted to I guess, see where we're at, dip our toes in the water of what we think Kansas City could be. I guess last question, anything else we missed here? Maybe the Giants against a Raiders defense that's okay, even though they've been playing sort of well. Like Dallas, Dak Prescott could be back, should be back against the Broncos defense that isn't really that good, but has been playing somewhat well. Just, is there anything else that we maybe kind of missed here?
Yeah, I think both those guys are they're playing both. They're playing a pretty good defense. Is it possible that they get there? Yes. They both can have big games, but I don't think they're the out-on favorites to be the DFS winners for this week, just because they're playing better matchups and probably not the game scripts to target. So I'd be okay with it, but it's not. Those won't be my go-to looks.
I love it. That'll be it for us. I do see something here real quick from Eli, but someone offered me Debo and Carson. I'm imagining Chris Carson. I know he's coming back maybe sometime soon with that neck injury. For Adams, I don't need Carson, should I? If you don't need Carson.
Well, if you don't need Carson, no, then keep that. Yeah.
I'm guessing that's Chris Carson, not like Carson Wentz or anything. I imagine that's not Carson Wentz.
Unless you're in a 3-quarterback league, then
right. Unless I'm missing any other player that's like Carson, first name or last name, but I'm assuming that's Chris Carson. And yeah, I mean, I guess if you haven't been using Chris Carson because he's been injured and you've been fine, then yeah, that is completely fine.
My take with fantasy trades like that is always you want the best player. You want to be getting the best player in the deal. You don't want to be trading the best player in the deal. Right. Your team stinks and you need to make a change.
Even though
you want to get the best
All right, so I'll give you this real quick. I put in an offer Cortland Sutton straight up for, and I'm getting Michael Carter. Is that a fair deal? That seems like a fair deal. I need a running. I had Derrick Henry, so I need a running back in the worst way.
Yeah, I think that's a fair deal. That's a fair offer for.
I thought it was a fair offer. Yeah, I thought it was.
Is it a PPR?
Just need to make sure I wasn't crazy. Yeah, PPR. Yep.
I'd actually say Michael Carter's probably more valuable in a PPR.
Love it. See, there we go. I'm doing the right thing. WDS.1/live week. If you sign up for a 1-week free trial, you will also be doing the right thing, especially for NFL DFS this Sunday. So sign up for that 1-week free trial to help you out. Use all the tools, optimizer, and projection model. Also, be sure to download the Sharp link. Go to sharp.link. All the ways you can download the Sharp app. That is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow with some DFS showdown here at windailysports.com.